I'm Ross, Lifetime Natural Bodybuilder. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be ranking 16 different tricep exercises based on their muscle building effectiveness. First off, if you enjoyed the video, then please click that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to see more true natural bodybuilding content. Right, so get straight into this one. Now, there are so many different tricep exercises, so many different variations of basic movements. I really tried to condense it down into just a few. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. And the first one is a push-out, push-down hybrid with a rope. First saw this performed by Francois Benfato, great Italian bodybuilder, very aesthetic. I like this movement. I'm going to put it as a B, really underused. Give it a go. So set the bench up at 45 degrees and the cable runs overhead in that same line as a bench, the same trajectory. Rope push-downs will be a little bit higher because you're going to lift a little bit more weight. Generally speaking, you've got your body weight to use as a counterweight. Next one is laying extensions with easy bar or barbell, 2 dumbbells. Generally, I prefer this either behind the head or to the neckline. I don't like it to the head. You're missing out so much range of motion. I'm going to put that as an A, solid movement. Much the same as the overhead extensions. Very, very similar. I think those two should always be, within your repertoire somewhere. Shouldn't, have too long of a gap without one of those at least being in your tricep exercise list. Solid movement, again, you can perform that with the easy bar, barbell, 2 dumbbells. I prefer the easy bar. I'll get to single dumbbell and double dumbbell a little bit later. So the push-out machine, it's got so much potential, but unfortunately this machine's, as I often say, are poorly designed and it limits the effectiveness of this movement. One of the machines I've used would be an A, but most that I've used would be much lower. You can check out my last video to see what I mean. I've got to lay into the machine to be able to stimulate my triceps without, me being held back by my torso rigidity because the back support isn't high enough. So the machine's design limits the effectiveness, so I'm going to put that as a C. Also, the handles are sometimes really, really dodgy, don't allow for kind of full extension. So this machine, on the other hand, is often very well designed from my personal experience. It's the Tricep Dip Machine. I would have to put that as an S. I think it's fantastic for the triceps. You can set the range of motion so that it's all on the triceps. There's very little chest work, a really solid movement that you should make the most of, in my opinion, if you've got one of those machines. Kickbacks, solid movement, really underused. It gets a lot of stick really as a tricep exercise, but I think it's good. You get a really, really good pump when you do this exercise. Skin splitting pump. Maybe not the easiest to perform for a beginner. You've got to be really kind of aware of where your joints are. So I'm going to put it as a B. Double overhead extensions, a good exercise. A little bit uncomfortable on the wrists. I'm going to put that as a B. In terms of the wrist position, it's not the best. Can kind of be quite uncomfortable on the wrists and thumbs. A little bit awkward to get up in a position as well. So in terms of practicality, I wouldn't put that higher. Okay, parallel bar dips. I'm going to put that as an A. Solid movement, but a little bit harder to kind of focus in on those triceps because of the free movement of it as opposed to the machine. I think it's better for chest, but not quite S-class for triceps. I think the machine is better. Single dumbbell overhead extensions. I'm going to put that as a B. It's a solid movement, very similar to the double grip. And again, it's not the easiest to perform, as most of these tricep movements are, to be honest. They're not easy for beginners because you've got a really good awareness of your joints and movement patterns. Okay, so next exercise, close grip bench press. I'm really not a fan of this, to be honest, at least for bodybuilding. I understand it has a lot of carryover for powerlifting, for sure, but most bodybuilders do enough chest work. I think the last thing they need to do is more bench pressing, to be honest, with kind of the average technique used. I mean, it's how I messed up my shoulders initially. Improper form on the bench, benching too often, too heavy. So I think that's just going to add to problems for most people. I don't think it's the best tricep movement. I'm going to put that as a C. Okay, cable push downs, single arm, really good exercise. Not going to put it quite as high as rope. You're generally going to be using less weight. Like whatever you use on one arm, double it, and you'll always use a little bit more than that for double arm. That's just how it goes. So I'm going to put that as a B, a solid movement, and it's quite versatile. You can kind of tweak the angle to focus on slightly different areas of the triceps. Rope push-outs, not a fan of this at all. You're hindered by your body weight, your ability to keep your torso rigid. And we're focusing on triceps here, and if you're let down by your stomach strength, which you shouldn't be, but if you are, then you're reducing the effectiveness of this movement. So I'm going to have to put this as a C. Not the best, and sometimes with these positions it's hard to get for a lot of people that kind of last 2 inches with the rope movement. Now this next one is a body weight exercise, really good, I like it. It's the body weight extensions where you kind of go under the bar. It's a lead priest special, but where do you go with these body weight movements? What do you do after you can do 3 sets of 15? Great for the end of a workout, but wouldn't use it as a tricep staple, so I'm going to put that as a C. Bench dips. I like the exercise, I think it feels great, but just so impractical. I mean, you have to do it with a training partner. You're never going to be able to load it up yourself. So for that reason, I'm going to put that as a D. Good at the end of a workout, maybe to pump out, high rep set, but just too impractical to perform for your main sets. Bar pushdown. This for me is one of the best. It's up there with the machine dips. It's got to be S. Really, really good exercise. You can lift, probably the most weight of all the tricep movements. You can get your body weight over the bar quite easily, which allows you to lift heavy. It's quite comfortable on the wrists, generally speaking. You can use straight bar or slightly cambered bar. You can also use a weight belt to kind of further weigh you down to, again, increase the amount of weight that you could potentially lift and therefore tax the triceps to an even greater degree. It's a solid exercise, one of the best for me. So that's my tricep tier list. There are so many different exercises, so many different variations of each exercise. I've really tried to condense it down to the basics. This is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. Also, check out my website. All the links are in the description box below. I do online coaching exclusively for natural bodybuilders. So thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one. Stay strong.